HubSpot dropping some news today. The customer agent for HubSpot used to be a Service Hub feature, I believe Service Hub Enterprise. They just made it so that it's wider across the whole platform. And this is amazing, especially as you consider, you know, my personal history of conversational marketing and the options that it gives you for your entire buyer's journey is incredible. But when we start to think about how folks are expecting the user experience to be these days, now you've got the ability to almost have a chat GPT style question and answer engine right on your website. So it's pretty amazing stuff. We've got a blog that we just published about the 6 things you got to do before you turn it on. And it has to do a lot with making sure you got the right content for the different parts of the buyer's journey. So what I'd recommend is take a look at that and start thinking about the distribution of content on your website and the accuracy as well. And then you got to start thinking of how you'd pilot this. The one kicker along with this update is that HubSpot is going to make this usage-based. So you're going to have these Breeze AI credits. Still don't know how much a conversation is going to be worth or how that's going to go. But when you start to consider projecting this and understanding this, there's no question that it's going to be an immense amount of value. You also got to make sure that you are able to project costs. My recommendation would be to take a look at how you would expect that customer agent to solve for your content today. Find ways to use chat flows and embrace the experience without using customer agent for some areas of business. More if-then style bots like you had in the past. We've got a bunch of resources for that. But then as you start to consider, imagine you're going to have to pay, I think it's $3,000 for pro portals and 5,000 credits for enterprise. Rather than blowing through all those credits, which I believe are portal wide, you probably want to understand a little bit more about how much usage is going to happen within your organization for your Breeze credits. But also you're going to want to make sure that you are understanding how much volume and traffic are going to be hitting that. So no question on the value, but here's going to be a question about what it actually ends up costing you. I think it's kind of akin to almost like pay-per-click on your own website. And while that's exciting that you have that feature and that functionality, I think it does mean that we got to be much more intentional than just pressing the on button. HubSpot talks about the fact you can turn it on in less time than it takes to brew a cup of coffee. That is technically true, but what you're going to need to do is make sure you do it the right way. So link in the comment for our blog that talks about how to turn it on, and check out some of our content around the things you got to look for to make sure you got the right content for the right folks.